It's the most shocking development in Ford F-150 history, hopefully not literally. The F-150 Lightning is the first all-electric F-150 and it's set to go on sale next year. I'm Fox News Autos editor Gary Gastelou, and we've hitched up the Fox garage to a trailer this week and brought it to Ford's Michigan Proving Ground to get our first look at the F-150 Lightning with Ford's General Manager for Battery Electric Vehicles, Darren Palmer. Thanks for having us by.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right, lots to talk about, but I want to ask you one thing. Before we talk about what's different about this, what's not different about this? What did you carry over from the regular F-150 for the electric model?
Well, so we had to completely design the rear from scratch again to fit the batteries in. So we had to, the ground area is revised, and it has independent rear suspension now as well. But we reused some of the upper cab so we can make the most efficient use of that. You can see we've added this new mega power front to the front. We've kept the bed the same in the back so that customers with upfits or our upfit partners can reuse what's already there. But then you see the rest of the vehicle's pretty new.
Some other automakers are building unique platforms for electric pickups coming in the next couple of years. Why did you decide to use the F-150, the existing F-150 platform, to base yours on?
Yeah, so of course, F-150, we've got a history of working closely with our customers about what they really want. So we spent a lot of time with them about what they would need from a truck. And we worked out we could deliver the range and the performance and all the features and connectivity we wanted with this type of truck. So it's got a completely new lower end. The whole chassis system had to be revised, as with that revised suspension, as I mentioned, and then we could reuse other components. As a result, we're able to deliver a 300-mile truck. It's the most powerful F-150 we've ever made and the highest performance F-150 we've ever made, and also at a price starting at $39,974. And it's only the combination of those two things that enabled that to happen. That means we can offer this not just to the top few percent of people, but to lots of people, and that's what we're here for.
It is the most powerful, not even close. What are the numbers on the power?
563 PS and 775 foot-pound of torque.
Why did you decide to make this the most powerful one? I mean, electric cars, they're all supposed to be about efficiency, aren't they?
Yeah, so, well, part of the development is this vehicle needs to be able to do everything that an F-150 can do today. That's what our customers expect, especially towing and hauling. And we found that in electric vehicles, we needed that two-motor system and that power to make sure we can deliver the performance that they wanted. Now, electric vehicles do some things extremely well, and one of them is torque, and especially torque from zero. So the towing and hauling performance is amazing. We're bringing demonstrations up at 25% grade, towing a huge trailer here today. You've been through some of those. So it makes it completely effortless. That's what electric can bring.
And that's not just short stints. You're saying this could tow just as well as another truck that's got a 10,000 pound rating.
Yeah, so it will tow 10,000 pounds, and it's fully SAE rated for 10,000 pounds, and it will do that in all conditions. And we've tested all over the country and all over our test facilities to make sure it can do that. Towing, when you're towing, like with any vehicle, it reduces the range. But the vehicle understands what you're towing, and it builds that into the schedule. So when you set a schedule, and you load the vehicle up, it knows the weight, it uses our onboard scales, it also knows the weight of the trailer, and it adjusts its available range determined to what you're actually doing with the vehicle to always give you an accurate estimate.
And it's 230 miles of range, the base model. You've got a larger battery that provides 300 miles of range. Pretty good for electric cars, similar to the Mustang Mach-E, but is that enough? I mean, you've got, gas-powered and diesel-powered trucks that go 500-600 miles per tank.
Yeah, so what's important is, one, you know what you've got and you can plan properly. And we've shown with our Mach-E, the vehicle can regularly reach its EPA estimates, and it gives you a very accurate estimate of what you've got. And number two, there's a network to support that. So we have the largest network of chargers in the country, over 60,000 now, and growing every day. And there's huge investment going into that network, so it will grow exponentially over the next few years as well. So it's important, what you've got and where to stop. And using the vehicle's onboard planning tools, it will help you do that so you can make any journey.
Who wants this truck? Who's been asking for it? Have they been asking for it? Is this just the future and Ford decided we've got to make an electric vehicle because everybody else is?
So before we started this, we went out to our customers and we said, let's go to some tough places for trucks. So we went to Texas and we went to other places around the country, and we asked our customers. We were even surprised at the number of customers that were considering that. Really, by that point, already 20% of our customers were thinking about going electric and what that would mean for us. They just don't have a product yet.
And why? Because they like the green aspect of it, or did they think the performance is going to be better than a gas-powered vehicle?
Yeah, so some of them, it's about total cost of ownership. Commercial customers, it's always about total cost of ownership and uptime. And the total cost of ownership of one of these vehicles is probably half a gas vehicle. And also the time off the road, because you don't need to do that servicing. So that's one aspect of it. They pay back, and at the prices we're going to sell this vehicle at, it'll be very compelling for businesses. That's one side. There's also the other side, in the retail side, the performance that it gives. The drive experience you have in these are like nothing you've driven before. It pulls with maximum torque from zero, and it keeps going all the way with no gear changes. It's a very unique feeling, and it reacts to your accelerator input very quickly, 0.6 seconds to maximum torque. So it feels very fast. It feels like the Mach-E does, which is mid 4 seconds, 0 to 60 in this vehicle. So it feels very, very sprightly.
Very aggressive pricing, just under $40,000. After the federal tax credit, that'll be $32,500 for the entry-level version of this. Anybody can sell a cheap electric truck, but can you actually make money selling a cheap electric truck, an affordable electric truck?
So the approach we've taken, which gets us very high scale on the cells and the components and reusing parts, has allowed us to make a truck that we can make margin on. So we make positive margin on this truck overall. And that was important for us, because we wanted it to be, the more we sell, the more margin we make, the more money we make. That's how we grow this part of the business. And that's how we also incentivize our dealers and everybody else. That's what makes a real difference. So that was an important input for us. So yes, we do make money on this truck.
You said 20% of the customers you talked to were interested in buying an electric F-150. How many do you think actually will the first year or two?
Well, that was 2 years ago. And since then, we're seeing more and more interest in electric vehicles. In Mach-E, we've seen it pull people in who weren't thinking of electric before. They saw what the vehicle offered and they thought, we'll try it. When they take a test drive, they're hooked. And we're seeing they're delighted with those vehicles as well. We're in very close contact with those customers, making sure the vehicles are working right for them, and they all absolutely love them. So that uptake we're seeing growing. You're still in the early adopter phase, or really the innovator phase, at 2% of the market. But we think a vehicle like this is really going to tempt more people to have a look. When you look at the performance, you get $40,000, and it's faster than a Raptor. It's a very compelling option.
You've got other trucks in your lineup, the Ranger, the Bronco. Is this a formula we could see you use on other vehicles in the coming years?
Well, we've said we're investing $22 billion in our portfolio of electric vehicles. So far, we've unveiled Mach-E, because they're a very important segment. Transit, best-selling commercial vehicle. F-150 electric, best-selling truck. And you can imagine we're working on best-selling icon vehicles across the rest of the range. So this is what we've got to announce today, but we have said we have a whole slew of vehicles coming through in the next few years.
All right, Darren Palmer, thanks for showing us the F-150 Lightning. If you want to read more about it, head on over to foxnewsautos.com.